Welcome to the second edition of the Doc Spiders Update. Today we are joined with Zac Charbonneau, our manager of the last 4 seasons here in Fond du Lac, who's now moved into the role of Director of Player Personnel. Zac, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Hey, Marcus, glad to be here.
Yeah, appreciate you taking the time. I guess kind of starting off with the transition in roles from field manager to Director of Player Personnel. Can you just kind of talk about, what that's going to look like for you and what you'll miss most about not being in the dugout on kind of a day-to-day basis during the summer?
It's going to be unique, in my first summer, not being in the dugout. I'm going to miss so much about it. The competition, I'm going to miss listening to the players. That's one of my favorite things is you get to hear them really, and their interactions with each other as well as their process, for getting prepared to play or make adjustments during the game. I miss the intensity of it. There's a lot that I will miss about it, and we had a great run. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Can you just kind of touch on too with, Director of Player Personnel? I know inside the organization here, we know what that title is like, but just kind of people watching this, what you'll be doing, with us moving forward.
Yeah. I'm excited to kind of work in this new role, something that kind of I did before, but as well as the coaching, the putting together the roster, Chuck and I, that's something that we're working on together. We're communicating on a daily basis, when it comes to players, and it's exciting because I gotta, get the opportunity to, play GM a little bit, from the player standpoint. I know a lot of people like to do that in fantasy sports and everything, but being able to do it, and then I know I'll be in Fond du Lac plenty, helping out still and watching games, so you kind of get to see your guys get after it.
Absolutely. I know you just mentioned about Chuck Thielman, our new field manager, with him taking over. He was on that original inaugural staff in 2017 with you. Can you just kind of talk about what we're going to expect in Fond du Lac from kind of Chuck with, kind of how he leads and what your conversations have been with him in the recent months here?
Yeah, Chuck, I love that guy. He's a 5-star person. He's just a tremendous individual, loving, big teddy bear. Type of personality. I have a lot of fond memories, with Chuck on the field and off the field. Somebody that I've stayed in contact even after, our careers have gone a little bit or gone separate ways. Not working together anymore. But I think that he's going to be somebody that flourishes in this role. The players are going to love him. The fans are going to love him. And he's ready to go for this.
It's awesome. Can you touch on just, fans in Fond du Lac here, even though they've been familiar with you the last 4 years, may not realize your background, that you were coaching collegiate summer ball for many summers prior to that with the Prospect League, the Metro Collegiate League. Can you just kind of talk about, from a managing standpoint, did your kind of philosophy change? Also kind of the architecture with building rosters in those leagues. How was it similar? How was it different? Just going across those various leagues.
Yeah, there's different rules to different leagues. That's kind of the first thing is having to learn how to work inside those rules. When you're going to sign a roster, whether there's limits or pitch counts, whatever. But it's the formula is kind of the same in the sense that you go out there and try to get good athletes and good people. And you don't really know what you're going to get until you get them into town, but if you're getting good athletes and good people, then, your job as the coach is to bring them together. And the faster you can do that, the faster you're going to head towards having a good summer. But there's been tiers of, college summer baseball. And, I'm happy to say I've kind of grown and, made it to the Northwoods League was honestly a dream of mine. So, Prospect League is great. Metro Collegiate League was great. A lot of good players, but Northwoods League is just it's that upper echelon league.
Absolutely. Can you talk about 2016 when you were named manager back in October, and what kind of those first 4 or 5 months were, 6 months were prepping for that inaugural season? I mean, I know on the ticket and sponsorship side, when I started in fall of 18, even though it was coming off the second year in the championship, calling out to people, even outside the Fond du Lac area, people just weren't necessarily familiar what Dock Spiders were. They thought we were a little league team, and there's just a lot of unknowns because people still weren't familiar. So can you just kind of talk about, from the recruiting side, talking with college coaches, what that was like pushing the name out?
Yeah, that was interesting. It started with reaching out to people I had previously worked with, or also trying to go out and build new relationships with new colleges. And, I, in my email, I called us the Fond du Lac TBD. We didn't have the name yet. We didn't know, or it wasn't announced. And, honestly, when you get on the phone with somebody, even the first time, you say Fond du Lac, they're like, what? It's not exactly like, Appletown, USA, or whatever that's more common. So yeah, it was just the education process with it for other people, about who we were, what we had to offer their players, who I was, and hopefully getting that opportunity to show them that we're going to treat their players right and develop them and send them back better and healthy. And what's been nice is kind of since that first summer, every year over year, it's been getting better. It's gotten better and better. But the first one was a little nervous. I didn't exactly know the profile player, that was going to have success in this league. So sometimes you took a guy and you just hoped, you hoped it worked out. And but happy to say, we've had so many good players throughout the years here. What I do remember about our first game ever though was we were playing, and we were facing a kid that was really, really good on the mound. Opening night, 6,000 fans over there in Madison, and I don't know if we put a ball in fair territory for 3 innings. I'm standing at third base, coach wondering what have I got myself into? But and we lost that one. We competed and we won night 2, and we kind of we've grown from then, from nothing to this. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. You've had a ton of success. You were just kind of talking on a little bit, but kind of that growth with your network. Obviously, you had a network coming into the league, with the different leagues you were in, but how has that grown from 2016, 2017 to where it's at today? Like you were talking about the roster, and not to say, there isn't players at Division II and Division III and things like that, but the Power 5 growth that we've had specifically this last summer and things like that, with the Cape not running and whatnot, can you just kind of talk about how your network has just evolved, and how we've kind of have some of those special connections here with some programs as well over the years?
Yeah. It starts with, doing what you say you're going to do. Right. I'm very honest with who we are, as a club, and what we have to offer. And it's been nice, and it's continue to grow, because it's not just those coaches that learn about us. They talk to the other college coaches, and they say, you need to send your guys to Fond du Lac. It's a great summer place. And so yeah, every year it gets better and better. And we have our core colleges that we work with every year, and it's awesome because it's feel like I've grown good friendships with some of those guys. We're able to talk beyond just their summer ball players. I'm able to reach out to them about different recruiting questions and things like that, and as well as those relationships are fostering for our junior college players going to some of those schools. So it's just been great, because I've met so many people from every corner of the country doing this job, and it's, I think the fans would agree that year over year, talent in Fond du Lac gets better and better.
Absolutely. Ed Foy was our Dock Spiders update question winner this week, and he asked, how do you replace Andrew Bullock in the clubhouse? Obviously, being very unique of coming back here all 4 summers that we've had so far, and how do you replace somebody just of his stature, not only as a player, but obviously just somebody in the clubhouse that I know has meant a lot to you?
Yeah, I love Andrew. He's my guy. Tough. It's kind of been weird. Every time we say bye at the end of the summer, you think that, oh, this is it. What if I never see this guy again? I know we'll have contact through, phone and social media, but it's been great. He's been phenomenal for our franchise. He's been phenomenal for me as a coach, because he's been somebody that I've been able to lean on as being a leader of our clubs every year, is that if anybody doesn't, get along with that guy or at least respect that guy, then there's something wrong with them. Like that's the type of person he is. His parents have raised him the right way. I know that everybody that he's coming in contact with in Fond du Lac, loves the heck out of him. It kind of feels fitting, that he transitions out. I kind of transitioned to a little different role, and we're looking forward to his statue getting put up over at Herb Baker.
Absolutely. So let's go a little rapid fire question here to kind of finish it all up. I got 7 questions here. Obviously, you're not aware of what we're about to ask here, but there's nothing too complex here, not putting you on the spot too much. First question, over the last 4 years, if you had to pick a Doc Spider player who would have the best shot at becoming a comedian, who would it be?
A comedian? There's been some witty, smart players from Northwestern, Notre Dame, Stanford, Vanderbilt, all that. Parker Nolan got a shot. I don't even know if he needs to tell a joke. Just whatever comes out of his mouth, we're all gonna laugh.
All right. Most competitive Doc Spider outside of yourself?
Oh man, Mitch Bowe. Mitch, still to this day, I think about Mitch Bowe and being a guy that, like, when I recruit for my junior college, I think about I need to find a Mitch Bowe every single year, So Mitch probably one of those guys.
Awesome. All right, you're down 4-2, 2 outs, full count, bases loaded. You get 1 at bat, and you get to choose who gets that hit. Who is it?
Man, Cole Zabowski.
I know there's a lot to pick from.
Cole Zabowski is such a clutch player. I like Cole in that situation. John Rhodes is a hitting machine, but I think I'll go Cole Zabowski.
Perfect. What is your favorite single game or weekly Doc Spiders promotion?
I would say the bubble ball bounce, especially when you're going to get your 2 assistant coaches in there, and one's, Chuck Thielman size and the other one is Sam Lynn size. And that's a good one.
All right. What's your favorite opponent to play, and what's your favorite stadium outside of Herb Baker Field at Marian University?
Favorite opponent? Good question. I honestly, I enjoyed playing Rockford Rivets a lot. But favorite stadium, I would say, would be Homer Stryker Field over in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Okay. Favorite pregame or postgame meal to eat on the road?
I know what isn't. You know what? You can't go wrong with a good noodles and company before the game. And post game, anything that's already boxed up and ready to go.
Get on the road. Final question. What are you hoping for that's your main Christmas gift this holiday season?
I know my daughter probably won't watch this, but we're going to get her one of those kitchen sets. So, we're excited about that because I know I'll be spending a lot of time playing in the little pink kitchen.
There you go. That's not what I expected, but that's why we're here to learn. Awesome. Well, we don't have any other questions. Appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy at MATC right now with everything going on and whatnot. So appreciate you taking the time and sitting down, and obviously we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you guys. I love your Fond du Lac, and go Spideys.
Sounds good. Thanks, Zach.